Did Gypsy Rose want her mom to feel everything? I think so, and here is why. Her first text message to Nicholas Godejohn after midnight between June 9th and June 10th, officially becoming June 10th of 2015, was at 1:08 a.m. This is from Gypsy. I know what you mean, hun. It's getting close to time. She took her sleep aid pill. Pay attention. This is at 1:08 a.m. on June 10th, 2015. At 1:12 a.m., 4 minutes later, she says, I just want to say this. Thank you. You're my hero, heart, and I will never leave you. I'm staying with you for eternity. This is just a little piece of almost 3 years of an emotional roller coaster that Gypsy Rose Blanchard took Nicholas Godejohn on. 7 minutes later at 1:15 a.m., she also sends, you're welcome, my twin flame soulmate. I have said my I love you to her. I am at peace. She also tells Nick at 1:41 a.m., I love, adore, and worship you, my everything. She directly proceeds that at the same minute with no matter what, I'm yours forevermore. 1:48. Only 7 minutes later. By the way, the gloves are blue. And how long must I hold my ears, hon? She immediately starts putting it in Nick's mind from the very beginning that they were planning this, tying that love, that devotion, the twin flame, soulmate, I'm with you and I'm going to be yours forevermore. You're a hero with this action right here. It's not how I perceive it, how you perceive it, how Gypsy perceives it. It's how Nick was perceiving this. That's where the manipulation comes into play. But, she recently said that she didn't intentionally manipulate him. It doesn't make it any less malicious just because you're not cognitively aware of it. It doesn't mean you still didn't do it. 3 minutes later, she replies, okay, darling, I'll talk to you when this is all done. She says at 2:05 a.m. on June 10th of 2015, she's sleeping very light. This is almost 3 minutes shy to exactly 1 hour from the moment she tells Nick that she just took her sleep aid pill. 2 minutes go by. At 2:07 a.m., Nick says, I'm here, and you get your A to the bathroom. You open the door. 1 minute later at 2:08, she says, yes, sir, I'm going now, sir. Now remember, this is a part of their role playing. She also says this at exactly that same time, 2:08 a.m. on June 10th, 2015. Breaths once. And I think she means breathes once. So from this first text message that she sends to Nick on June 10th of 2015, prior to this, it was all before midnight on June 9th. She says right here, it's getting close to time. She took her sleep aid pill. And assuming Gypsy is telling the truth about this, okay, just for argument's sake, play the devil's advocate, that Gypsy is telling the truth that her mom just took her sleep aid pill at 1:08 a.m. Let's give her the benefit of a doubt. Let's say she's late 3 hours or 2 hours or 4 hours, and Deede took her sleep aid pill at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, even midnight, 1 hour before this. But between 1:08 a.m. when she took her sleep pill to the very last text message at 2:08, right here, breathes once. The reason why I don't believe that Deede took a sleep pill at all is because Gypsy sends this 3 minutes before Nick is at the door, that she is sleeping very lightly. And if she took a sleep aid medicine 1 hour ago, you would assume that it probably kicked in. And the reason why I don't believe she really took a sleep pill and she was lying to Nicholas when she said that is because of this right here. The autopsy report. I put this in over a year before it was sealed, and this was unsealed last summer, early fall. Now, they confirmed on Deede's own medical records that she has a history of asthma, gastroesophageal reflux disease, thyroid disease, diabetes, headaches, hyperlipidemia, and endometrial cancer, which she did really have because she had to have a hysterectomy. She has a surgical history of cholecystectomy, surgical history of hernia repair, appendectomy, tonsillectomy, and hysterectomy. And these are things that are verified through Deede's medical records by the medical examiner's office. They're not just taking some doctor's or person's word. This is coming directly from the person's actual diagnosis and treatment, because otherwise medical examiners wouldn't put it in here. But besides the fact that psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, people with cluster B personality disorders, they tend to lie a lot. And when it's convenient for them, they tend to lie to manipulate. It doesn't mean that everything that they say is a lie, but trying to discern between the lies and what is truth and what is real is a very difficult job. That's why the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case has taken over everybody's minds. They also say little pieces of truth mixed in with their lies and their manipulative lies to others intentionally to lend the lie some credibility of truth. And we see this with tons of people that are just like Gypsy. People that display sociopathic, psychopathic, narcissistic tendencies and symptoms, like Casey Anthony, where the truth lies. And all she does is continuously lie, gaslight in this entire documentary. Sherry Papini, caught in the lie. And yet this documentary is nothing but her continually lying. She does a lie detector test and she flunks. She comes back deceptive as lying about her ex doing this to her when she knows she partook in it all. That she planned it all and this is all her doing. And another one, Confessions of Octomom, where she doesn't confess crap and she continuously lies and gaslights everybody. Still unable to say the truth. But back really quick, you'll see that there's all kinds of over-the-counter sleep aids. A lot of them have usually Benadryl, sometimes Unisom, melatonin, or valerian. But a lot of sleep aids also have acetaminophen, which is Tylenol in them. Sometimes 250 all the way up to 350 milligrams of acetaminophen. It's not the main ingredient, so you're not going to usually see it on the front, but if you check the ingredients list, Tylenol is in a lot of things over the counter. Because the body, the moment that death happens, it stops metabolizing the way that it does when cells are alive. Metabolism is a process of converting food into energy, requires the function of circulatory system and oxygen, and that immediately stops at the moment of death. Once the heart stops beating, these processes cease. However, after death, the body does undergo a different process called decomposition. So there is this, which is metabolizing after death, but this is when cells are deprived of oxygen, resulting in an acidic environment. It releases enzymes. But this is not the same as metabolizing. This is the process of after cells begin to die after the moment of death and they start to break down. This is a decomposition process. Decomp is driven by temperature, humidity, and insect activity. Of course, rigor mortis, livor mortis, all of that can tell investigators and medical examiners when the time of death occurred. So for argument's sake, Deede did take a sleep medicine and she did so not an hour before death, but 4. It would likely be detectable. Of course, there are factors in this, but medical examiners, this is why they use a wide range of bodily fluids and hair to do a toxicology report, and why it can take upwards of 7 months to get the toxicology report back, as well as biopsies of organs. Toxicologies are looking for if anything helped contribute to the cause of death. They want to look for prescription medications. Deede Blanchard was negative for everything. Cutoff values available upon request. She had nothing in her system. At the time of her passing, nothing. In my opinion, Gypsy lied when she said that her mom took her sleep medicine, but she was telling the truth when she said she was sleeping lightly. In my opinion, she wanted her to feel